Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am finally getting around to doing an update on my couch. That's what's going on. This is the situation right here. Now, everything else looks fairly decent. It would pass, you know, there's a little bit from where I sit. There's a little bit of brown showing through here that could be done again and right here. But this material, y'all, is so soft. I mean, it's just very soft to the touch. And so I'm glad I done it. This is where I sit a lot and use, you know, I'll put my computer here if I'm working on my computer, or if I just have my arm here or whatever. This could be painted again. I didn't really, after I had my surgery, I wasn't able to do a second coat. This right here feels a little bit hard. I could have sandpapered that, and but you know, I don't really have any complaints. It's held up very well until now. Right over here, I don't have a cushion here. Why I don't have a cushion there, you might ask? I don't know. I threw it away, not because of the paint. I threw it away before I painted this couch, and I didn't think I needed it. That was when I put, if y'all remember, I put the sheets on it and tried to make it white, and I had so much extra material that I didn't need that cushion, and I threw it away, and I wished I had it back. So there's that. But anyway, let's get back to the couch. Some spots just a little bit show through that needed, see right there, that needed a second coat. Like right there, and the cushion part right here needs a second coat, but especially right there. Now, what happened was this little guy right here. He came in from using the bathroom and had a little bit of poo stuck on his butt, and decided to jump up on the couch and get it on the couch. So I went to clean it off, and I used a rag. I guess it was kind of like an abrasive, you know, wash rag, base rag, whatever you want to call it, washcloth. And I put a little bit of Fabuloso on my rag, and I washed it off. Now, I did not know that it was going to be taking the paint off, but that is not actually poo stains. Focus. That's not poo stains. That's from the couch underneath the gray where it was brown. So I am going to do a second coat on this today. I'm tired of just having to throw on it. I want it back. I want my gray back. And this too, if you can see, you just have to play around with it. But the main thing is that you have a good amount of mixture when you're doing this, like paint and water. I do have my leftover, what I have leftover paint. I'm just going to use this, and I do believe I have a brush in here somewhere. I hope I have my paintbrush. Okay, so I do still have a little bit of this paint, and this was the Rust-Oleum Chalk Ultra Matte paint in the color Aged Gray. And I do have my little mixing bowl. I do have a paintbrush, and I have some water. So I'm going to open my paint. Yes, I'm using a butter knife. I have a zillion butter knives. So put this in the sink. So what I'm going to do is just to cover up that spot. Now I may go over different spots, but I really don't want to do it during the day. I'd rather do it at night when you know, when we're in bed and Levi's not trying to jump up on it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mix just a little bit of paint. I mean, just enough to cover that mixing bowl, and then I'm going to put a little bit of water in it, because I don't want my couch to be hard. You know what I mean? I don't want that hard texture. Nobody wants to sit on a fabric that feels really hard. And so far that is not what I have, and I don't want to have that. So whoops, I don't want to dump it over either. But see how runny that is? And that's the way I done it to begin with. So that's the way I'm going to do it now. So I'm just going to go over the spots. Now it's going to look a little bit lighter, but it won't after it dries. So I'm just going to go over it one time. I'm just not going to put a lot of coats on there, because if I do, I'm going to have to sandpaper it, and I don't want to have to do that. So I'm just going to cover up some spots that has needed to be covered. But like I said, it's just too dangerous to be doing it during the day, because I don't want Levi getting up on it again and messing up the paint. I have a piece of a brush right there. Get that off. And so yeah, I'm just gonna try to leave that there. Now, yes, I do have some spots over here. I'm also gonna paint. We are just gonna try to stay off of the couch today as much as possible, and just have to convince Levi of that. And then I'm gonna come back after it's dry. I may put a fan on it to rush up the process, but yeah, I just want to get some of those spots covered up so I can use my couch again, or have it uncovered. I still use it, but obviously I know that's there. So anyway, and I could still see the brown coming through right there. It's not necessarily, it looks like it's cracking, but I mean, it feels like a smooth surface. So it's not cracking, it looks like it is. Let me get a little more paint and water. It looks like it's cracking, but it's not. I mean, you could see it when I was going over it, if it was cracking, but it's just the way it goes when you're using chalk paint. But you know, I'm glad I done it. I have no regrets doing it. I should have done it when I could go back in and do a second coat, but then I know if you do a second coat, you are going to have to sandpaper it, and I, with my right hand being operated on, I didn't want to have to, you know, I didn't want to have to do that. So I couldn't have been able to do that. So we're just going to do the spots that look kind of bad. You know, just take your time, and you know, if you plan on doing a second coat, just do whatever you feel like doing, you know, but still do it. I try to do it in just back and forth motions. I don't try to go that way with it or write my name in it or anything. I just try to, you know, go with it like that. So if in fact it comes back as, or dries down as being a little bit of a lighter color than the rest, I don't think that would bother me. If it was just a little bit, it would bother me. If it was a lot of it, I guess. But sunglasses, I see the difference between this cushion and that. Well, of course that's wet, but this is got some brown showing through there as well. But I don't really care about that. It's not really, it still looks gray. I'm not really going to care about that. So anyway, I just went to town with that Fabuloso and didn't think a thing in the world about it. I don't know. I'm going to do some research before this video is up and find out what you can actually use to clean furniture after using chalk paint. And I'm going to try to find out as much information as I can. I think what should have been done, since it wasn't, you know, I got to it really fast. It wasn't like it had time to soak in the couch or anything like that. It was gross. But, you know, I should have just went with a little bit of water, and maybe that would have cleaned it. I have no idea, but I'm going to try to find out what cleans. Because nobody, I mean, you know, everybody's going to have accidents. Everybody's going to have, well, hopefully you yourself don't poo on your couch. But if you do, you need to know how to clean it. So, this little spot right here, I mean, I could be here all day doing this. I could just really literally be here all day. So since my hand's not completely healed, this is actually hurting me to do it, so I'm not gonna continue doing it. I just really wanted to fix that one spot, and I think that's gonna do it. And so what happened? I think that's going to do it, but I don't know for sure. So this is my first time doing it as well. So I'm going to come back and show you guys what it looks like after it dries. I'm thinking about doing this lamp over here. I seriously am, because this got more of a, I don't know, maybe I shouldn't even try it. But see that lamp? I'm thinking about doing it as well. But, you know, let's fix this damage first before I move on to other stuff. But anyway, I'm going to put a fan on it. I'm going to let it dry. And I will come back and show you guys the results. I don't know what I'm going to do about a cushion for this. I had tried to look online and order one, but it's very expensive to have one cut and fitted and all that mess. So right now I just have pillows under it. I generally try to sit on that end so nobody else does, but anyway, I'll be back. Okay guys, it actually didn't take no time to dry. So this is what it looks like. Now when it was drying, Levi got up on it, and of course I did put my handprint on it a few minutes ago, but just to see if it was dry. But it's dry, and it's dry. I did have a fan blowing on it just to dry it, but it covered it very nicely. I don't think that I'm going to have to sandpaper it in any kind of way. It feels, this one feels a little softer than this does, but I think this will dry down and be soft. But yeah, I just done a second coat on it, and I will be linking down my description box below where the kind of paint. Like I said, it's just the Rust-Oleum chalked ultra matte paint in the color aged gray. They did have a darker color gray, but seriously, I'm happy with the color of it. I could probably do a second coat right here. Let me go and look real quick and see if I can find a way that you're supposed to clean this. I forgot to do that, so give me a second. Okay, so apparently to clean it, I done all the wrong things. I googled it and it said clean with a soft cloth and avoid all liquid furniture polishes. To clean marks or stains, use a slightly damp cloth or chamois, C-H-A-M-O-I-S, with a little mild soap. If you need to use a stronger cleaner, you may have to repaint the area. Keep away from extreme temperature or humidity. Okay, so that's what I done wrong, is I used too much of an abrasive cloth to clean it with, and I used a very strong cleaner. So I have learned my lesson. Don't know why I didn't look that up before, but anyway, that's the deal with this couch. Now, it did not take this whole can of paint to do it. This is 30 full ounces. It did not take this whole can. I probably still have about a quarter of it left. Now, I do still need to, you know, do some areas and stuff, but man, did that dry fast. It really did. And there, as you can see, there's a couple little streaks in it that I probably need to go over again. This one went over perfectly. The only thing about going over it too many times is you will have to, like I said, you will have to sandpaper it. And I don't want to have to sandpaper anything. I really want to do this lamp. I really want to. I think I want to do this part of it and kind of distress it. We may do that. And maybe I'll leave this color because it matches that right there. But I don't know how that's going to look gray. But, well, anyway, let's take it outside and do it. You don't know until you try. I don't even know how much I got there. Anyway, we're gonna do this lamp. So I went ahead and used it full strength. I used my paint full strength, and I just went ahead and painted this top part of it. I thought I was filming. I guess I was not. But anyway, I'm going to use it full strength because it does not need to be watered down for this kind of thing. Now, like I was saying before, I don't know if I was in the video or not, but I'm going to distress it. And distress actually means, it means old, you know, it means used, it means antique. Well, that's not really the, you know, correct definition of distressed, but it just is made to look old, you know what I mean? And so I'm gonna paint that right there. I'm gonna let it dry a little bit, and then I'm gonna go on to the next step. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and do it all. Might as well. I love this color gray. It just pretty. It matches with everything. Of course, you can use, you know, whatever color chalk paint you find or you prefer. They make all different color chalk paints. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be, you know, that good, because we're going to distress it. So I'm just trying to get the majority of it, of the brown on it, or paint over the brown. Doesn't take a lot of paint to do this either. So I think I would have loved like a light colored blue or a chalk that make a looks, it's a blue. It's not a dark blue. It's a light powder blue. That would have been really pretty too. I might do something like that in my bathroom. But so now what I am going to do is wait and let this dry a little bit before I try to distress it, because if you don't, obviously if you put your rag on it, it's going to take off a lot of the paint, and that's not what we want to do. We want to pick where we take off the paint, if that makes sense. We want to pick and choose the parts of this that we want distressed. You know, if I just go at it with the rag right now, it is not gonna, I won't get to pick it because the paint's wet. It will just take it all off. So there's that. I'm gonna try not to get the cord, obviously. Oops. But I am, like I said, I am using it full strength. Now, I did do my coffee table as well, so I'm not worried about getting it on my coffee table, because I can always just add it into the distress that my coffee table already is. And it is a white gray with a little bit of tan, you know, mixed in. This trunk Susan gave me is very heavy. I believe it's very old. So it just needed a good distress, and I like it. I think it turned out well. I will try to remember to link that video in my description box where me and Susan actually sanded it and distressed it. It wasn't that hard to do at all. It just took a lot of time. We had to take off the handles and the screws and stuff like that to make it, you know, to not get it all over the screws and handles and stuff, because that's typically not what you really want to do. So I'm not quite sure what I want to do with this shade, because it's not going to really match. So I'm probably going to either get another shade or either just paint this one. It's probably what I'm going to do, is just paint this one, because I don't want to be buying another shade, particularly right now. And I don't think I could buy anything that would, you know, really look any different than what I'm going to do to it. So I'm just lifting it up to try to get on the underside of it a little bit, you know, so that it doesn't show when it's sitting on the table. So now, this chalk paint dries very quickly, as you saw from the couch. So if it's not dried enough, I'll stop. But what I do then is, now you can use sandpaper for something really hard, you know, to do, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put little bitty marks. If you guys can see that, I'm going to try to zoom you in a little bit. So you can actually see what I'm doing. I am just going to make little marks, as you can see, where it looks like it's been beat up. You see, that's already drying really fast, so I'm having to put a little more pressure on that part of it, because see, it will dry really fast, if you see what I'm saying. So I'm going to bring you guys, see, I put a little bit too much distress in that one, so it's easy to fix. I just paint back over it, and then I just use, you know, a little bit lighter hand in going back over it. You know, you can even use your fingernail a little bit. You can use a screwdriver if you want to. You know, it's supposed to look like it's beat up, which I guess I could take it outside and beat the hell out of it, but I'm not going to do that. So, you know, it's just supposed to look like it's worn. You kind of want to do it on the edges, if you see what I mean, like right here, where if it was hit on something, it would definitely, you know, if it was been hit on something time and time again, you know, it would be distressed. And so you just want to get the thicker part, you know, the where it stands out more. You guys see what I'm saying? And you can do it any way pretty much that you want to, just to make it. You can distress it as much as you like. You can distress it as little as you like. There's no, you know, there's no rules in this, and that's what I like about distressing my own furniture, is that there's just no rules in it, you know. So I'm going to try to do this before it gets dry, because it's certainly drying on me. So I'm gonna put a little bit of distress right there, and you know, just distress where you think you want it. You can go up and down with it, go sideways with it. I'll try to get y'all into where I'm actually doing it at. Now, like I said, if you think that's too much distress, then all you have to do is paint over it and, you know, redo it again. It's just really a fun project. It's you can make furniture look like you want it to. Get tired of the same old thing. You know, some people's not into distress. Distressed furniture is not everybody's cup of tea, you know, but I like the way it looks. I think it's contemporary, even though it's supposed to look old. You know, I love distress. I would buy antique furniture if I could, you know, as far as having, you know, the way it looks, and, you know, making it look older and character. It just gives it character. And, you know, your piece of furniture that you make yourself will be unique. You know, your piece of furniture will be like no other, because, you know, it's yours and you've done it and you made it, and you have a sense of, you know, sense of pride. You just really do. And so I'm just gonna get a little bit on the, can y'all see that? Probably not. I'm just gonna get a little bit on the edges here. This is still wet, but I don't care. I'm just gonna do a little bit there, and Levi's coming over to check out the situation. Like I said, if you want to use sandpaper, you can. I think sandpaper would be too much on this. I just do, because, you know, I don't want big, huge gashes in it or anything. I'm just trying to, and all I'm doing is letting it dry a little bit and then taking it and rubbing areas in it that I want distressed. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, it's just making it look like it's been through something. Like it's been through many years of somebody loving it, you know. Somebody using it a lot. Somebody's been in somebody's house for a long time, you know what I'm saying? So that's really all you do. Now, that's really all you do. So nothing to it. The lampshade's crooked, nothing to it. So I think it's gonna look really pretty. I mean, I really do. I think it's gonna look pretty. You can mix colors in with it. You can mix like browns or blues or greens or reds or whatever you want to do that might match your furniture. My table over here is brown. You never know, I might get that next. But let's put it back on the table and see what it looks like next to the couch. Now, forget the shade because I still have to do something about the shade, but I think it looks pretty. If I could get a hold to some candle holders and stuff, now I could do some more, you know, in there, a little bit more something. But the shade don't really match right now. So I'll either try to go find another shade or either I'll distress this one. That wouldn't be anything to do it. So anyway, guys, couch looks good. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys. Alright guys, I'm back. I was not happy the way that lamp looked. I did not like the white on white or gray on gray. So this is what I done. I got my rag and I went through and got some of the tan that was normally there, or was there at first. So I wiped it with a wet cloth, the same cloth I used before. And then, as you can see, there's a little bit of pink mauve in it. I have pink mauve pillows, so I wanted to add a little pink mauve into it. So I didn't have any pink mauve paint, so I used fingernail polish. I had a little pink mauve fingernail polish. It was a little bit too bright, so when I put just dabs of it on there, I just rubbed it in with my rag. I still need to do a little stuff to it, but I think it looks so much better than just the white. So anyway, guys, I think I'm done for right now anyway. So I'll see you guys. Bye.